Hello, Libras. How are you? How are you? How are you? Let's go ahead. Let's tap in. We're doing things a little bit different this time around. I know Fridays we usually tap into love, which we will still tap into love, but I'm going to start off with the finances, then we'll do singles, and then we'll do couples, okay? So I hope all is well. Let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. All right. So, your energy around money right now or your mindset around money is you're in a okay, so you're budgeting, you're managing your money. Are you saving it for something in particular, Libra? And if you're not actually in the process of saving money, I feel like your mindset is shifting towards it. Like I think for a lot of my Libras, um, yeah, that's what I'm picking up heavy. Like your mind is putting you in a space of saving. I'm hearing getting ready for to get ready for any rainy day. You want to be able to okay. Okay, so it looks like you want to be a little bit more mature with your finances as far as, like there's something here about wanting to make your money grow. I'm hearing work for you. You could be thinking of all the ways that you can make your money work for you or grow. I feel like, if there's any blockages or challenges when it comes to money, it's going to be, it's going to come in the way that you handle your money as far as when it comes to, I feel like, mentally you want to save, you want to put money up for a rainy day, you want to invest it, but I feel like there's also this emotional side of you that kind of overrides the mental clarity, and so you want to use your finances based on how you feel. Okay, and so that's where a lot of I see my Libra spending habits are coming in at. They're gonna be in places that tap into their emotions, or it's gonna be in the event of certain emotions. All right, but in lieu of that, I feel like the first step in this particular process for you is the mental clarity. I feel like once you put it in your mind, and then you put it in your mind repetitively, you will be able to start to put it into action. You know, what is that gonna look like, you say? I'm sorry, bear with me, Libra. Bear with me. So sorry, y'all. Y'all know how it goes, out of sight, out of mind, and the crowd gets loud. All right, so I feel like the first step in this process for you in particular is going to be, repetitively putting in your mind when you wake up in the morning, when just whatever you do, just even okay, because I'm getting a lot at one time. So, it might be difficult. You might struggle with it because this might be, for a lot of my Libras, this might be something new or something that they have to revert back to. Maybe you were on track, then you got off track. And so now you're finding it hard to get back on track of saving. Okay. So take it, it's all about having grace with yourself. Okay. Not too, I mean, you don't want to, so when I say have grace with yourself, okay, let's start off slow. Okay, Rome was not built in a day. That's my favorite saying. Okay, so Spirit is saying, wake up every day. The first thing you think about, just picture saving money in your bank account. How much? Visualize a number, a realistic number that you would like to save in maybe 30 to 60 days. Visualize that number. Okay. Visualize that number 6 times a day. Okay. Visualize that number 6 times a day. Okay. And whatever, maybe you're working and whatever, maybe, whatever your job is, whatever your skill set is, whatever you do in between your shifts, in between whatever you're doing, at least 6 times a day. Schedule it, set alarm clock on your phone. Visualize the amount you want saved in your bank account. Picture that amount. While you're picturing that amount, do you know how a money machine sounds? Okay? Like, like it's counting the money. So kind of mesmerize that sound while you're visualizing the amount. Okay? What I'm trying to do is get you to get in the space of saving. If you can start the mental process, then you can start slowly taking action. Even if you start with $1 a day, maybe not taking it to the bank, but putting it in like a piggy bank or an old juice jug, $1 a day, $1 a day. Then, you do that for 7 days and you go, all right, I did it for 7 days. Let me do $2. Just getting yourself in the habit is the most important thing. Okay, before we get into numbers and how much you should be putting in every week and each, so the first step is getting in the habit of it. Okay, so I feel like, that's your strength so far. The, the thought, the thought of wanting to save, wanting to, invest, wanting to, that is a big advantage because a lot of people are not in that mental capacity to want to save. Most people are comfortable with day to day. They've actually become accustomed to living paycheck to paycheck or living in survival mode or, just doing things however they've been doing things for X amount of years. Right? So by you already, mentally being in this space, you're ahead of the game. Okay. We're not going to be, we're not going to be comparing, ourselves to people who have started this venture prior to us. This is not a competition. It's not a race. Okay. This is a journey for self. Okay. And so I feel like, you know, that is one of your biggest strengths right now. Your ability to mentally visualize it. You don't understand that something that little or small is humongous. Okay. And if you keep that thought process up, it's going to help you bring it into fruitation. Okay. So let's pay attention to, you know, opportunities. And when I say opportunities, because it's going to go both ways in your, in your spread. Okay. So you have an opportunity to spend and you have an opportunity to save. Okay. I know it's some things that we just, it's difficult for us. And, just depending on who you are and the circumstances, like maybe you're a type of person that goes every 2 weeks to get your hair and nails done. Okay. Maybe there's a hairstyle that lasts longer than the other where you don't have to go every 2 weeks. Maybe you could start going every month or two. Okay. Or, getting your, or getting a style on your nails that's, $50 cheaper than what you usually get. Or saving yourself some time by giving your own self a pedicure and just going to get the polish. Or even just, buying the gel polish. I don't know. It's going to be different for everyone. My men, okay? Maybe you always go and get that souped up haircut with all the design tricks and maybe I don't know. It's different strokes to different folks, okay? But there's something here about, the outer appearance, what we spend on the outer appearance. For some of you, it might be jewelry, accessories. There's going to be like something around, like maybe there's people, some of my Libras that like to buy a bunch of things for the house, like knickknacks and stuff, things to decorate and soup it up. Maybe you're, just whatever it is, when you find yourself in a space to once you master the mental, okay, and you start, putting that dollar up, okay, so then let's go towards, let's start getting to a space where we work on opportunities and what we do with the opportunities. So maybe, when we're in a space where the opportunity is to spend, we find an alternative. Okay, I know, don't kill me. I know it's not, I know it's, listen, I'm going through the same journey. So I'm just don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. Because when I get to reading y'all cards, I apply it to myself too. So, but listen, for example, I eat lunch, okay? When I eat lunch at work, okay, I was spending money every day for lunch. But I was keeping it at a minimum, but I still was spending. So I'm like, oh, I don't really want to spend because when I calculate it up, I'm spending about XYZ amount of dollars, which could go into something else. So I was like, okay, girl, so you're going to have to strap your boots, strap your apron, and get in this kitchen, fight with these meats, prep these meals. So, and, in the same breath, you know, I needed to follow a certain meal plan anyways that I was deviating from. So, it kind of killed two birds with one stone. So now I meal prep breakfast and lunch for me to go to work. I spend absolutely nothing. Was it aggravating at first? Yes, absolutely as fuck. But even when I didn't feel like doing it, even on days where I had my lunch and I had wanted to spend it, I sacrificed. Okay. There's situations, there's opportunities to save. Let's grab those as much as we can, even when it's uncomfortable, because I promise you, this Nine of Pentacles is not out here for no reason, love. This Nine of Pentacles lets us know that if we are able to put action with the seeds that we're sowing, we will bear fruit. Okay? So, if you're uncomfortable now, allow it. So enjoy the discomfort, because baby, when it's all said and done, you're going to be so fucking comfortable. I promise you. You're going to be so fucking comfortable, and you're going to be so, ecstatic about, all the progress that you made. Baby, do you know how I feel to accomplish goals, milestones that we've struggled so hard with, and we finally just like, you know what? I absolutely don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. Like, I remember I was paying for a trainer, and it was days where I had absolutely no interest in showing up. But you know what I did anyways? I got my ass up and I went there, and I would sit in the car, and on the way getting out, I would break down and cry. And I would walk in the door, and they would be like, "What's wrong? I don't want to be here." And that was just me. Honestly, I don't want to be here. My body is sore. I've been doing this for about 3 or 4 weeks. I'm still uncomfortable as fuck. And then at that time, I had health issues going on too. So I'm just like, I don't want to be here. I'm uncomfortable. Nothing about this feels like it's, you know, but I pushed through. So, and when I kept pushing through, I see progress. And I was happy. And the sacrifices that I made no longer felt like sacrifices. You know, it was an investment into myself. So, said all that to say, push through. Opportunities to spend, opportunities to save. Which one will you choose? Okay, it's up to you. All right. But I know that you want to budget and save. I know that there's an end goal. So, we just have to do what we got to do, even when it's uncomfortable. Okay. So, you really do, value your money, even though you don't really know how to show you value it. Because I feel like for a lot of my Libras, you are you are or you have been showing your value or the love you have for your money by spending it on things that make you look good or make your house look nice, or you're doing all, and there's nothing wrong with that. So don't think that this is like a bad session for you, because absolutely not, baby. I like finer things too. I like nice things too, and I'm pretty sure the next person does too. Okay, it's not about that. It's about, you know, you are entering a phase in your life where you're wanting something different than what you're used to doing. Okay? So it's not so much as because you value it, it's how you choose to reflect the value. And I heard in a movie, I was watching the movie Ozark. I'm late watching it. I am. I'm really late watching it. Don't kill me. Y'all probably already seen this movie before. It's actually a show. And, you know, they said that a person's wealth is a reflection of their decisions. And I love it. When I heard it, it stuck with me. And I was like, damn, what the fuck, does my money say about the decisions I make? I want my money, I want my decisions to show good things about me mentally, physically, spiritually. Like, I want the reflection of my decisions to show a positive impact on my finance. So, you know, I just was like, okay, definitely changes got to be made. And I feel like, that's the same thing that is going on with you. Like, your wealth is going to be based on the decisions that you made. And so, you know, baby boy, guns and butter. Butter is the shit with no value. Jewelry, this, that, the third, shit that you can't really do anything with. Guns is the shit that depreciate that appreciates over time. Stocks, bonds, CDs, painting, artwork, all that stuff that accrues interest. Okay? And so I feel like when you're in those spaces of opportunity, maybe you can also start thinking about guns and butter, baby. You want butter that's gonna melt over time and don't have nothing, or you want the guns that's gonna protect you and keep you sustainable, secure. So this just something to think about. But I mean, you have it right as far as the way to value it. I think it's more, it's almost like a child who doesn't really know how to fully balance out their emotions. So instead of when they're sad about something and saying, explaining why they're sad, they might actually show anger. Or if they're angry, they might bust out and cry rather than saying why they're upset to try to get help with it. Well, it's something like what you're doing. Like, you're valuing it, but you're just showing your value in the way that you feel like is best, but it's in a manner of spending. Because your emotions are tied to your value, right? But instead of your emotions telling you I'm happy, let's hold it, let's put it up, it's say I'm happy, let's spend it, let's show that we are good over here, right? So some things are better left unsaid. Because, baby, when that bank account gets stacked, baby, you ain't got to say nothing. People know when you walk in the room, they can smell the moolah on you. Okay? But anyways, so, yeah. All these pinnacles on the table, baby. You knew what time it was. Yeah, you knew. Yeah, you knew. If you keep up in this path, like I'm guiding, the advice that I just given you from spirit, this advice is fresh off the press, love. If you go forward with this advice, make it a repetition with your thought process. When you get that down pat to the point where you eat, sleeping, and breathing, thinking about just saving, to the point where it give you anxiety, not knowing if you say if you really that you're not saving. When you get to that point, then you start, $1 a day, $1 a day, $1 a day, or whatever you can. I don't give a fuck if it's a penny a day. It's not about, I think, with society right now, when people think about saving, they think that they have to put so much up. When in actual reality, it's the habit of it. It's the part of it is creating the habit of saving. When you start repeating the same thing, I swear, if you find a penny or something on around, pick it up and every day, put something and I'm saying, you don't even have to start with a bank account. If you want to, cool, that's fine. Nobody ain't knocking for that. But I swear, I started with a jug of juice, an old Hawaiian punch jug. Every day I put something in it. Every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. And I don't touch it. I don't let nobody touch it. Matter of fact, I put it in a place where I can't even see it. And so it just sits. It does. So, if you're able to create those habits, get that going, you will find yourself. Then you will finally find your rhythm and what you need to do and how you need to save and how you need to save and how you need to move and what you need to do. Yeah, you're going to get into it, right? And guess what the outcome is going to be? Baby, you're going to sow. If you start this process, you're going to sow seeds. So you're going to sow them so well that they're going to turn into this even bigger seed. It's going to turn into this even bigger seed for you. And then you take that and you make that work for you. Do you understand? Like, spirit is like dropping gem. Like, this is not no advice from me. This is literally what spirit is putting on my heart. I feel the truth in it. There is going to be temptations around your spending. You're going to have to change your perspective. You're going to have to stand your ground when it comes to it. You're going to have to stay, you're going to have to listen, grow one building a day. Try your best. I don't know. Maybe some of you might need to get down and pray. I don't know. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Because I feel like, for some of you, it might be other things that come up as temptation. Like, temptation doesn't usually show up as the devil, as like clear, like, hey, it's me, temptation tempting you. It comes in ways where you don't think. Like, I was like, I'm not gonna touch nothing that I say put up this week. Well, my tire kept going flat, and I was like, because I didn't want to touch it until I didn't want to do anything until I was able to make the money. So that's my goal. I want to be able to, but with my tire being like that, I couldn't go and do the things I usually do to make the money. So it was like I had to sit still, but I didn't want to tap into the savings to spend it. And then I spend it. And then now I have to replace that and then still have to, like I like to I've learned to have it before I spend it because everybody is different. But for me, 9 times out of 10, when I spend it before I get it, then something happens and it'd be hard for me to get it back. So I like to get it first. So I was like, I'm not ready to buy another tire yet. I just don't want to. Like, it was going flat, but it was like, you put air in it, you ride in all day, but by the time you get home, it's time to put more air in it. So I thugged it out till I got, my little coins, put air in it again, made double what the tire cost, and then I went and replaced it, and then went back and made some more money. Like, it sounds crazy, but it's just like, like, temptation comes like at the most, and it throws you off. And it was like I was panicking, like, oh, like my mom was like, you're gonna ride this tire and it's gonna blow out on you with these damn kids in the car, and you're gonna be sitting here feeling like an ass. But that's temptation making you feel like give up, just do little shit to throw you off, because in actual reality, if the tire goes out, I have roadside assistance with my insurance, and I have AAA. Not saying that you should do that, but that's the sacrifice I did. I wouldn't suggest that for everybody, but I'm just saying, like, that's, it comes in different ways, It comes in different ways. Maybe, a field trip is coming up and your baby really, I don't know. I don't even want to use that example because I don't like stuff like that. But just a situation where you might have to say not this time. And then when you are able to get to a little, where you could meet your little goal, your quota, then you take your baby out and you do something, like, it's going to be different. I don't know. It's different for everybody. I was just trying to give little insights or whatever like that. But, it's going to be temptation. You really going to have to stand your ground. They're going to come from all different areas. to try to throw you off and keep you stuck in a cycle. That's the thing, you know. But it's something strongly here about, standing your ground. Um, Sometimes you might have to borrow it from somebody. I don't know. But, just, or call, there's something here about asking for help. This could be spiritually, this could be physically. Take it as it resonates. You are, this is something that you are, this is not going to be, you know, a walk on the beach. Like, you're going to have to actually put in work. Some days it might be a little dirty, might be a little harder than others. But, Spirit is saying, as long as you remain focused and, you have to, it's the emotions too. Like, the emotions, you have to know when you get excited or you get sad. Like, I was like a person who, you know if I get stressed, I'm going shopping. I'm going shopping, period. I'm going shopping. I don't know what it's like for you. I'm just saying, me, when I stress, I shop. Okay. But it's something about, when you get in that space to where you just want to go spend it all, or spend, pumping the brakes. Pumping your brakes and standing in some truth and accountability. Some days I used to have to talk it out with myself. Baby, you said you want to save XYZ by elemental P. You go ahead and spend this now. Yeah, you're just going to throw you off your quota. And I be sitting there really like wrestling with myself. But, it's the reality of it. Yeah, you're going to be doing the same thing too. You're going to be wrestling with yourself. I feel like it's going to be a lot of going back and forth about, doing the right thing. I feel like there is gonna be like spiritual interferences that's gonna be like, nudges, like letting you know, like your intuition letting you know, like, we're not doing that, we shouldn't be doing that, but at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide, what you're really gonna do. Yeah, you're gonna have to decide what you're gonna do. This process is life changing for you. It really is. But, if you can continue to stay on the course, you're going to have success in this. This is something that you can do. You're capable of doing. You are. You can do it, Libra. All right. Take care.